Wow. Thanks for dropping in. I think with an entrance like that, at least 2 people will subscribe. Good to know my crash pad is still operational. Hey Bear Climbers, welcome back to another weekly episode. In this episode, we're going to go over the Bowline and the Yosemite Bowline, which is an alternative to the figure 8 tying into your harness. If you're new here, I'm Joshua Perry, professional climber, and now I make YouTubes for the hell of it. So let's roll the intro and we'll get right into it. Hey everybody, welcome back. So we're first going to start off with just a simple bowline. And a wise man once told me that a good knot is easy to untie, but hard to come undone. I'll show you what that means. The bowline really fits that. It's really a great knot. I use it all the time for work. Almost every single day I probably use this knot on like things that are going to put a heavy load on the rope. I'll show you what I mean. I'll talk about it a little bit more in a second. So let me show you first how to just tie it. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab yourself some rope and you're just going to do a little coil like this. It doesn't matter which way you do it. You can do it this way or you can do it this way. But what you're going to be focusing on here is this end that's coming in, okay? This end here, right? And every time you do the loop, I like to do it like this, and have this on top, is every time you do the loop, you're looking at this end right here. And what the bowline wants to do is it wants to go in this hole right here and around through that hole like that. And it wants to go over the top of this one like that. And then it's going to go back through the same hole it came through. Now before I tighten it up and everything, let me show you kind of what's going on here. This end is trying to pull this end through there, but it can't. So that's what makes it a knot. See, when you tighten this up, okay, it wants to pull this end like that through there. Let me show you, maybe like that's better. And it can't. Okay, so that's what makes it great. And what's great about this knot is when it's even heavily loaded, all you really ever have to do is just push this little eye back, and it gives it enough, it loosens it up enough that the whole thing could just come undone. And you can put this, if you do tree work, you use this in tree work all the time, put it around like limbs and things like that, and lower it down, and then the guy at the bottom could just untie it real quick and things like that. So, and the reason they use the Yosemite version for this is because you could take a lot of falls on it and it would never get really loaded. But we'll get more into that later. So let's just try to do this knot one more time, because we're all a little bit thick-headed, right? So we're going to grab this, we're going to give it a loop, give it a twist. We're going to look for this end. Okay, we're going to grab the end over here. We're going to go through the eye, right? We're going to go over this end here, around and down and through there. Okay, now here's something that I'll tell you you cannot not use for this. You cannot use this knot for. Okay, you never want to be like cheeky and think, okay, I'm gonna use this knot to put a loop at the end of the rope. So like, let's say you wanted to pull a load this way and this way. You can never use this knot for that, because that's the only way this knot will come undone. You go like this and it just wants to come undone like that. So you ever load a bowline in that fashion. You never want to do that. It's only for like a downward pulling like this, and then it tightens up more and more. See how it's pinching. Another thing is, okay, let's say this is the correct way. You see how this loop is pinching the tail over here. It's down here in the crotch of this little pinch, right? If you did it the other way, we call that in the business saddling a dead horse, because this is the end that you want to catch any movement from, right? So if it was in the other way, the wrong way, which would be like this, I mean, it'll still hold, but it's just wrong. It should be over here on the inside of the loop and getting pinched. It's still getting pinched over there, but there's more pinching force going over here, so this is the proper way, would be over on this side, not on that side. So we would come in through that eye, which would be on the same side as this thing here, see? We come in like that, we go around, we come through, and that would be it. Let's say we did it the wrong way. What would happen? What would happen if we did it the wrong way? We never tied this knot. Let's see. You go over this way, okay? You go over this way, and then you'd find that it's impossible. You can't do it. What would you do? This maybe? No, it doesn't work. So you have to come in. You find yourself. You quickly find out that you're a dumb. Okay, so you'd have to go in from the other way. Okay, now let's get into the Yosemite bowline. I'll show you how to do the Yosemite version of this knot. Okay, the Yosemite bowline. Okay, I'll start off with saying this, a warning, first of all. I do not recommend, I actually almost didn't even want to show how to tie this knot because I don't want somebody seeing this video say, oh, it's a cool new way to tie in. I think you should, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. You know, don't reinvent the wheel. I mean, some climbers say, hey, I've been using that forever. Well, I don't think it's safe because the buddy system's a real thing. You know, you're climbing with your partner and they say, oh, your harness is checked, okay, your knot's tied. A lot of people will see this and they'll go, what the F is that? So, you know, I don't think it's a safer knot than the figure eight. Also, it can be tied wrong. It can mess up wrong. There's more moving parts in the system, so, you know, I wouldn't really advise using it. But at least watching this video, I'll give you some beta. So if you do see someone tie it, at least you'll be able to know if it's tied correctly and all that other stuff. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the first things off, we're going to tie it just like a bowline, but this time we're going to put the end over here. I'm going to call this the leading end. We're going to put the leading end on the bottom, like that. And we're going to grab a point, and we're going to do exactly what I did with the bowline, which is just a simple bowline, which is come in from the same side as that through the hole. So I'm coming in at the same side this one's on, right? And then I'm going around it, and I'm tucking it in. Now with the Yosemite bowline, you want to give yourself a lot more tail, because if you don't finish this thing off with, like, let's say a double fisherman at the end over here, like with a figure eight, it's not as crucial. It's good to have a lot of tail and then clean it up with a double fisherman or a figure eight. I wouldn't say it's as crucial as this. If you don't have a double fisherman tied off, basically the knot's not completed. The double fisherman over here, which I'll show you in a second, is a crucial part of this knot, because dynamic loading like with this knot could really mess things up, and I'll show you what I mean. So, okay, let's do it. So here we got the bowline, right? We learned that just before. What we're going to do next is we're going to kind of follow this end here like that, and then pop it through that end. Okay, now here's where it could get really tricky. This loop has to be loaded first, and then this loop, and I'll show you why. So first you'd pull this end and this end like that, and then you'd pull this end here like that. This loop needs to be on top of this loop. If this loop is pulled incorrectly first and pops over here like that, you've kind of untied it. And I'll show you what I mean. If it's under here like this, let's untie it real quick. If it's on top like that and this comes out, you still basically got a bowline. Now, if it's over here, let's put it right, reset it. If it's over here, like that, which would be incorrect way, and then this comes out, you don't got a bowline anymore. Okay, it's something completely different. Okay, so from the top, we're gonna twist it around. That end's on bottom. We're gonna come in from the same end as that, loop it behind and over. Give yourself a lot of tail. Okay. Then we're gonna take that tail end and we're gonna go around this one, right? We're just gonna kind of parallel this circle that's going on here. Just loop here and then pop out the top. Okay. Then we're gonna grab this end and this end first and make sure that loops up there. Then we're gonna grab this end, make sure it's under. Now, this is crucial. double fisherman right here. And it's not just for looks. That's really, really important. Okay. So that would be the Yosemite bowline. Okay, another reason why you wouldn't just use the bowline is because the loop isn't coming back up. So it'd be like down here in the circle, and that's, if you had to do like a double fisherman here, you wouldn't want to do that. So the Yosemite bowline with the double fisherman at the end, that's how this is tied. Okay, hope you learned something. Let's go to the outro. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I heard there's a bell over here you could ring somewhere. Hit the bell to get, I think that notifies you. Here's my Instagram over here, and I guess we'll see you next week in another episode. Let me know, do you use your, comment down below, do you use Yosemite bowline? Have you ever used Yosemite bowline? What do you think about it? Let me know down below. See you guys next week.